Welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. In the last episode, I believe we finished everything we needed to do. We've got a bunch of emails here, so let's get started going through some of those. Let's see this first one here. Dear Sir, Madam, could you build me a new PC? I'm a bit obsessed with performance. Does 6574 sound reasonable for a benchmark score? Can you put in 2 of the same GPU, please? ASAP, it's urgent. MSI components are meant to be the bomb. So a 3D Mark score of 6574 running dual GPUs. So let's go ahead and accept that one. Dear Sir, Madam, would you be able to build me a new computer? Everyone is playing Farming Simulator 17 at recommended spec, except me. I'm going to need it in 9 days at the latest. I heard you guys put used parts in PCs. Please don't do that. Intel components are meant to be the bomb. So can play Farming Simulator at recommended spec. So let's go ahead and accept that one. Scotty B. Hey, just a quick email to say thanks for that streaming PC. It's just what I needed, and the stream is so much better now. I'm actually up to 3,000 followers. All thanks to these rigs you built. Anyway, thanks a lot, and come check out my stream sometime. Oh, glad everything's going good for you there. What is this here? Hi, I'm Giovanna Scaria, a physicist embarking on a research project that, without wishing to exaggerate, looks set to revolutionize the entire field of theoretical physics. Naturally, I'm in need of a computer system to run the experiments, and I've heard you are reliable. I'm on a tight budget, about $1,000, as this is currently a solo project, but I need something to control the specialized equipment I've ordered from Switzerland. Can you sort me out with something basic? A benchmark of 4,200 will be plenty. Thanks, Giovanna. So spend less than $1,000. 3D Mark score 4,200. Sure, let's go ahead and accept that one. Hi, are you available for a job? My rig is broken. I'm not sure what's wrong. Can you have a look? I dropped it on the floor. Can you do it in 12 days? I've noticed it sometimes runs a bit slow, too. I've never cleaned it out. Is that okay? We'll just diagnose and fix that one. We'll accept that. Hello. Build me a PC. I need a new rig. I'm looking for at least 4,003 in benchmarks. Some of these people are so specific in their benchmarks. I've seen those AIO water coolers on the internet. I want one. ASAP, please. It's urgent. I'm a total Cooler Master fanboy. Sure, we will do that. D Martinelli. Oh, we've got a G Martinelli down here and a D Martinelli up here. Good day. I need a new PC. I'm looking forward to playing Sublevel Zero Redux, recommended spec. I heard you guys put used parts in PCs. Please don't do that. Have you heard of Intel? Nope, sure haven't. They're meant to be pretty good. I look forward to hearing back from you. So let's go ahead and accept that one. So that is a lot of PC builds. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a fix. So obviously not all of that is going to get done in this episode, but let's go ahead and let's build out these first 3, and we'll get this one in. We'll do the repair and the other 2 builds in the next episode, but let's go ahead and get these 3 built. So I'm going to cut away. I'm going to get some parts put in our shopping cart here, and I will be right back to show you guys what I've got for the first build. So for this first build for G Martelli, for his 3D Mark score of 6574 with his huge budget of 3,750, we're going to get a Gigabyte GAAX 370 Gaming K7 motherboard, a Ryzen 1800X, an NZXT Kraken X62, 4 sticks of the most expensive RAM available, the G.Skill Trident Z, 2 GTX 1070s, a Platinum 650 watt power supply, Terabyte M.2, 4 terabyte Barracuda, and we will try to stuff all of that into the Cooler Master Master Case H500P, which I think I've only built in one other time. So we'll see how that works out. Let's get on with this one that can play Farming Simulator 17. So let's see what we need to play Farming Simulator 17. Recommended spec. So 4 gigs of RAM. Okay, and then their budget is $3,000, so obviously we're going to build something much nicer than what's here. So I will cut away, and we'll be right back. Okay, so for this next build for Farming Simulator, we're going to go with the EVGA Z270, a i7 7700. A bunch of our parts are going to overlap. We've got another NZXT Kraken X62, 2 more sticks of this super expensive G.Skill RAM. We're getting another Supernova 650. We're going to get another M.2, the same 1 terabyte, another 4 terabyte hard drive. We're going to put a Gigabyte Aorus GTX 1080 in there, and we're going to try to stuff all of that into a NZXT S340 Razor edition. So we'll see how that works out. Now let's go on to Giovanna with his $1,000 build to get a 3D Mark score of 4,200. So I'm going to cut away, get another parts list put together, and we'll be right back. And for our last build, for the $1,000 mark, we're going to go with the H170, the Mortoni board, a Intel Core i3-6100T, the cheapest cooler available, 1 stick of G.Skill Ripjaws 4, I think it was 3000 MHz, the MSI 980 Ti, a 300 watt power supply, which should power all of this, 1 terabyte hard drive, 120 gig SSD, and we're going to put it in the cheap case with no window. Let's go ahead and buy all of this stuff now. We'll worry about getting stuff for these other 2 builds in the next episode, but let's go end our day and get our parts in. Let's go to work. Okay. So let's get this one here. Let's get this one there, and we'll get our cheap build on this back table. Let's start with the cheap one first, just so we can get it out of the way. There's going to be nothing exciting there. Get all our side panels off. Okay. This one is going to have the Mortoni. Let's get our standoffs in, and we'll get this screwed down. We'll start getting parts in here. Get our 6100T. And we will get our 1 stick of RAM. Let's go ahead and put thermal paste on here so I don't forget. And actually we're putting that small little cooler on, so let's go ahead and just plop that guy on too. It's not going to get in our way. Excellent. Let's get this out of our way. Pop out a couple of those and we'll get our graphics card in. Let's see. Which one was it? It was this one. Let's go ahead and close that. Very nice. Okay. So we've got SSD that's going in it. We'll just slap that there. And we will get the 1 terabyte hard drive installed. And let's get the power supply in. Oops. And we'll get everything cabled up. I forgot to put let's put stickers down. So this one's for Giovanna. This one was for, this middle one I think was for Hungry V. And this big one here was, ooh, it was one of the Martellis. Which Martelli was it? Nope. G Martelli. There you are. Okay. Let's get this cabled. Let's just use... Let's use some black. This guy's not really going to care, being that there's no window. Get our SSD connected. We'll get our hard drive magically connected. Motherboard. And CPU power and case. Looks a little messy, but you know, what can you expect from this little case here? Okay. Oh. Somehow I activated Siri. Go away. Go away, Siri. Alright, let's see if it will power on for us. We'll go into the BIOS. And we're going to go ahead and turn on XMP. Always forget to put the USB drive in, so let's power cycle it. I'm going to go ahead and put this backside panel on. Let's get 3D Mark installed on here. Yes. So we'll get our 3D Mark going. We'll see if we get what was the score he needed. 4200. We should. So we're going to let this run. I will cut away, and as soon as we have a score, I will be right back. So we have blue screened. I'm pretty sure that I put thermal paste on here. But let's take this off and reapply. There's no way this little i3 puts off more heat than that can dissipate. I'm wondering if the case may need some fans in the front. Or if our power supply isn't quite large enough. Which could definitely cause us to go over budget, because we are right at $1,000. What could we... I mean, I guess we get rid of the 1 terabyte hard drive if we need to. I'm going to run this test again just in case it was a thermal paste issue. If it wasn't, then I will come back and we'll figure out if this 300 watt power supply just isn't cutting it for that 980 Ti that's in there. So I'll let this run. We'll see if it blue screens again, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is another blue screen. I'm going to assume that it is a power supply that is underpowered. So he's not getting a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's just going to be this SSD, but we're going to snatch this power supply out. And just to be sure, we're going to use, I still have connected here. That's a fan. So we're just gonna slap in one of these other power supplies, like one of these 650s. See if we get the same error. And if not, then we're just gonna buy a bigger power supply. Because that 300 just probably isn't cutting it for this 980 Ti. So we'll get this started back up. I'll get it running again, and we'll see what happens. Whoops. Oh. What in the world? Did it put 3D Mark on the hard drive and not the SSD? That's interesting. Okay, so now we'll get this running. We'll see what happens, and I'll be back. Alright, so that gave us the score we needed. We just happened to be over budget. So we're going to snatch that 650 watt power supply out of there that cost 130 bucks. And we'll slap this in. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy this. We'll get same day delivery. We'll get it swapped out. And then this should be good to go. So that 300 watt just doesn't cut it when it comes to the 980. Even though I did the math and it should have worked. No big deal. So we'll get this one out. Let's get, what am I looking for? Power supply. Let's get the 450 in. Let's recable all of this. We'll run another 3D Mark test. We'll get our score. We should be good to go. Okay, so while that's starting up, I'm going to put this side panel on. Let's get 3D Mark running. And while it's doing its thing, because we know it's going to pass, actually let's get this other side on. Let's start working on this PC. Let's get all the panels removed, including the front, because this one's going to have an AIO in it. Let's get this motherboard in. Big motherboard. Okay. Very nice. Let's get some of these open. And we'll get our CPU. And we will get memory, 2 sticks of this G-Skill. Let's go ahead and thermal paste that. And let's go ahead and get one of these Krakens installed. Okay. Get that out of the way. Let's see, this was getting, I'm trying to remember, I think it was just getting 1080. Yep, the gigabyte. Oh no, is it too big? So can I not put... The beauty panel will not fit. Oh, well, that's kind of a bummer. That is a big graphics card. Actually, I think I need to take it out, though. Because I think our M.2 drive goes here underneath it. So now we can put it back in. Unfortunately, without the Razer Beauty panel, but what can you do? This is a fairly small case. Let's get our 4 terabyte drive installed. And while we're back here on this side, let's get our... Oh, that's right. These have these mounting rings. Oh, unhook yourself. Okay. Let's get the cradle back on. All right. So let's cable this up. Let's see, what color? Let's use green, just because this is a Razer case and we can't even have the beauty panel on there. At least tie some of that green in. What in the world? Okay, let's get that, and we'll get the fan, I guess, attached to this fan. While I'm thinking about it, let's get a USB drive in. And let's go into the BIOS. So we've got this expensive RAM, we may as well run it at the highest XMP settings. Get our OS installed. And we should be good to go. Let's get the case all put back together. There's our dust filter. We'll get the front panel put on. Let's get the PCI lock. I have to remember that about these big Aorus cards. You can't have the beauty panel in these particular cases. Very nice. I like it. Alright, let's power it down. That one looks like we passed again, so let's put this out here. Let's grab this one because it's ready to go. And let's get to building on our last system here. Let's get all these parts taken off that are in our way. I think that's got to come off too. Okay, so let's get our motherboard in, the Gigabyte Gaming K7 motherboard. Very nice looking motherboard. This one's getting 4 full sticks of RAM. So let's get our CPU. And let's get all of our RAM installed into this monster. And 3 and 4. In the game, I want to say that was, whoops, I didn't mean to zoom in. That was like $1,100 worth of RAM, so pretty expensive. I think this one's also getting dual GPUs, so let's go ahead and get that stuff out of the way. Let's get our M.2 SSD installed before we throw these dual 1070s in. No, I don't want it there, please. Now I remember building in this case. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's get... Uh-oh. Oh, I can take that out. Okay. Let's get our power supply in. Let's get this PSU shroud back on. Let's throw some thermal paste on here. And we will get our Kraken installed. We can start cabling this up. So let's not do green though. Let's do some red. Get everything connected. Oh, I still need to put the 4 terabyte hard drive in here. We'll do that here in just a moment. Just remembered about it. Let's get everything else connected here. Let's get our 4 terabyte. Oh, that's right. These come out this side. Very interesting. Oh. Then it's got... There we go. Let's cable that up. Okay. Let's get USB drive in here. And let's power it up. We'll hop into the BIOS real quick. Do our XMP. And while that is doing its thing, let's put some of these case parts back on. And we'll get the side, nope, not that side, this side panel on. Let's get 3D Mark installed on here. So we can run our 3D Mark test. We need to get 6574, which I'm pretty sure with two 1070s should not be hard at all. Okay, so I'm going to get this running. And as soon as we have either a blue screen, which I doubt we'll have, or the score, I will come right back. Okay, so we easily surpassed the, what was it, 6574, I think. Yep, 6574. We've got 10,981. Let's get this side panel on. Let's step back and look at this beautiful machine. And let's get it out in the hall. Let's collect some money. So we will collect from this one. We will collect from this one. And we will collect this one. So we'll go and we will do these builds, these 2 builds and this repair in the next episode. And we'll go through some of these emails. I'm going to end this episode here. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to know as soon as another one of my videos goes live. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode.